This is the case of Wallace versus Garth. Mr. Wallace, you are suing Ms. Garth for $18,000 for fraud. You say the defendant accepted child support payments even though she knew the child was not yours. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Defendant, you say that the plaintiff is the father and he pursued legal action out of spite.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. What happened here? Were you two in a relationship?
Yes, Your Honor. About 7 years ago, we met in Tennessee, Nashville. She was a bartender there, and I was working construction. Well, still am, but that's how we met at the bar. I was a regular, and things were great at first. We hit it off and got married very quickly. A few months in, we got married, and things were going really well. And after the marriage, things started to go downhill from there.
After the marriage or during the end, towards the end?
Soon after we got married.
Okay, so soon after you got married, things took a turn for the worse.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and so, Ms. Garth, do you agree with that testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you got married and everything was fine?
Yeah.
What made things start turning around for the worse?
He started getting jealous. He started trying to control my behaviors. He didn't want me going into work anymore because I was a bartender. And he said, oh, you're going to flirt with all the men there. He was just afraid that I was going to leave him all the time, that I was embarrassing him with my behavior because I was trying to be, you know, kind at the bar. And anything I did, he had a problem with.
And you were a bartender when you met?
I was. Yeah.
How did you all meet? You went up and ordered a drink and that's how you met her?
I was a regular at the time at the bar.
So why is it when you got married, her career started to bother you so much?
I saw the way she was with everyone. She's very flirtatious, and it was appealing to me in the beginning, and then it grew old very quickly.
So when it was directed at you, you liked it, when she was friendly and nice to you?
Yes.
But then when you married her and her job kind of, well, I mean, look, when you're in a service profession, there is that fine line where you're being kind and maybe even flirtatious, some people would say,
yes,
right?
ma'am.
And only you know usually whether you're crossing the line or not, because on the other side of the counter is a drunk person that probably don't know what you're doing and's got in their own mind, right? So were you having a problem that your wife was consistently in that situation? I'm trying to understand why this marriage goes wrong.
Well, she did cross the line.
Okay. What happened? Uh-oh. See, is it just me, gallery, or she was just testifying like he was crazy? You know, he was hallucinating. However, what happened?
It was not until after he started to treat me like that I did participate in an affair.
You participated?
I had an affair, Your Honor. It is true, yes.
Did you have an affair with someone you met at the bar?
Yes.
Oh, Lord. All right. And was it someone that was another regular customer or just somebody that came in and have a drink? Inquiring minds want to know. Mr. Wallace is wanting to know the details.
He came in to have a drink, and then he became a regular customer.
And then you had an affair?
Yes.
How did your husband at the time, Mr. Wallace, find out about it?
He found out a couple years later, actually, after our son had been born.
Oh, boy. Okay. So...
And I was not having an affair at that time.
That the baby was born?
Yes. Or when he found out.
Okay. So you find out you're pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
At the time you find out you're pregnant, does your husband know anything about the affair, or that all came out later?
He did not. It all came out later.
And so when you find out you're pregnant, you say, honey, we're having a baby, and there's happiness and joy.
Mm-hmm.
Were you happy about it when you first heard about it, Mr. Wallace?
Of the affair, Your Honor?
No, having the baby.
Yes, I was very happy to have a baby in the beginning, yes.
And so you all came together and did all of the baby things, and everything was exciting and wonderful.
For a few months, yes.
For a few months. Then what happened?
he started to resent our child for taking me away from him. That's what he said. That's what he would come home after construction and he would want me to have dinner on the table. He would want me to go out with him, but I had to take care of our child, and he would just get angry and snap at me, and then that just became an everyday thing.
Coming up.
This person just pulls you over, you're at the bar, or she texts you. How did you find this out?
She texted me, and when I confronted her about it, she didn't deny it, and I was disgusted.
We're back with the case of Bradley Wallace, who is fighting with Jenny Garth over child support payments.
So what happened, Mr. Wallace? You wanted your wife to still be in position to give you the type of love and nurturing. You were having trouble sharing her time with the newborn baby. And listen, this is not something that is uncommon. You know, this happens in marriages and relationships.
Yes, ma'am. As it happens, a baby takes up a lot of your time. I understand that. I understand I might lean towards being aggravated easily, but she didn't make it very easy on me. You know, I would work all day, long hours, and come home and not knowing what she's doing with her free time. Well, we know now, but yeah, I mean, I was right to not know what was going on.
What I was doing with my free time. I was taking care of our child, and I was also working long hours. When have you ever changed a diaper?
Yeah.
Not one.
For sure.
You don't change diapers either?
I've changed a couple of diapers.
Sure he has.
So a baby might get the diaper changed 5-6 times in one day. So a couple total, or you did a couple per day?
Well, ma'am, I was busy at work most of the day, and I would get home and...
There's always the night.
Yes.
So you were basically taking care of the baby...
Full-time, yes.
Full-time?
Yes.
Okay, so how long was it until you started having the affair?
I had an affair before the baby was born.
Oh, so the affair was before, then the baby was born. Okay, makes sense. Did you have an affair after that too?
No.
So when you said he was treating you mean, that wasn't just during when the baby was born, it was also a reflection of what he was doing early in the marriage when he was mad at you for bartending.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I thought the baby would change that. I was mistaken.
Yeah, that's one thing we learned, is that babies don't change anything. They just exasperate whatever is going on, that usually multiplies. All right, so get me to the point where you decided to tell him that it may not be his child.
I didn't tell him, Your Honor. He found out.
How?
A coworker of mine we got in an argument because she wanted to take shifts and she didn't like me very much, so she decided to tell him years later.
Wait a minute, she wanted to take a shift, so she decided to tell?
It was a long time of me taking her shifts. I got a promotion at the bar that she wanted, and she just had it out for me, honestly.
And how did she even know? Because she saw you with the guy at the bar?
Yeah, we were friends. We were friends.
Oh, so this was a person that was a friend?
Yeah.
You thought was a friend?
I thought.
And so what happened, Mr. Wallace? This person just pulls you over, you're at the bar, or she texts you? How did you find this out?
Yes, ma'am, she texted me and let me know what was going on, and then when I confronted her about it, she didn't deny it, and I was disgusted and confirmed all my fears of what I knew what was going on. She tried to act like there was nothing going on, and obviously there was. And then
most
we
of the time there wasn't.
Filed for divorce soon after.
So you filed for divorce?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you are suing for $18,000, you say, in child support that you've paid.
Yes.
So after the divorce, you're now paying child support for the child.
Yes.
Are you on the child's birth certificate?
I am.
Okay. So you know that makes you the legal father.
Right.
Okay. And so you get a divorce, you're paying your support, and then how do you get to the point where you arrive here? Why couldn't you all resolve this at home?
Well, I later found out through some digging of my own, what the man that she had an affair with and is back together with, what he looks like. And he looks a lot like my son, who I thought was my son, and now...
He is your son.
Yeah, it doesn't look like me at
Do you
all.
have pictures?
I do, ma'am. I have
Let me
all
see
the
them,
evidence
please.
here.
Thank you.
Such a handsome little guy.
Thank you.
How old is he?
4.
So now the guy you were having the affair with, you're in a relationship with.
Yes, I am.
Are you all married?
Not yet.
Okay, well, I see the curls.
I also had curly hair as a kid.
You see me in
I
there?
knew you'd say that.
Coming up,
Did you always know there was a question of paternity? Did you
I never
always
questioned it.
How did you not question it when you were sleeping with both of them at the same time?
Because I have been having I've been having protected sex for years. I've never gotten pregnant. And then we have unprotected sex and I get pregnant.
you're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with the case of Bradley Wallace, who is fighting with Jenny Garth over child support payments.
And so every month you've been paying $1,500
Yes, ma'am.
in child support.
Sure have.
And then you find out at the bar she's had an affair. Now you realize she's with the guy. So after all of this paying, you feel like she defrauded you and knew the whole time that this other guy was the father.
That's exactly right.
So let me ask you this, Miss Garth. Why is it that you didn't think that there was a question of paternity?
This is embarrassing and very personal to admit that you bring me to court to have to say this, but when he was conceived, I was having unprotected sex with Bradley, and I was having protected sex along with taking the pill with Dylan.
Well, you had to been sleeping with them both around the
was.
same time,
I was,
and you knew that.
yes.
Did you always know there was a question of paternity? Did you
I never
always
questioned it.
How did you not question it when you were sleeping with both of them at the same time?
Because I have been having I've been having protected sex for years. I've never gotten pregnant. And then we have unprotected sex and I get pregnant.
So you had been having unprotected sex with your husband for
Yes.
all those years you never got pregnant?
No, well, we had been having protected sex, and then when we decided to try to have a child, we started having unprotected sex.
And you didn't get pregnant?
I got pregnant when we started having unprotected sex.
But that's by the other guy.
No, I had protected sex with the other guy.
So in your mind, my husband is the father
Yes.
because we were trying.
Yes,
And you believe in your heart that he is the father.
I do.
Coming up,
In the case of the child born to Miss Jenny Garth, it has been determined by this court.
you're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with the case of Bradley Wallace, who is fighting with Jenny Garth over child support payments.
I'm confused. I really am. I mean, one thing's for sure, there is a question of paternity. That's why I always say, I have said this for years, that the woman can lie, the man can lie. Plaintiffs can lie, defendants can lie, but the only thing that doesn't lie is this DNA. And that's exactly why this court had you submit to DNA testing. And the most important thing is this beautiful little boy right here. How old is he now?
4.
4 years old. Really doesn't know who his biological father is because his mother doesn't know. Are you ready for the results?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything either of you would like to say before I read them?
Just that he's willing to throw away his son because he's mad at me.
All right. In the case of the child born to Miss Jenny Garth, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Wallace, you are not the father. You're not the father. And I can see the tears in your eyes and yours as well, Ms. Garth. This is what paternity secrets do. This is what happens when you have paternity secrets. And as we move through life and find, as I always say, comfort under the covers, we end up with confusion that casts doubts on the paternity of our children. And that does not feel good. And now somebody's got to tell this beautiful child that Mr. Wallace is not his biological father.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns. You're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake.
So her fiance or new man is the biological father, maybe, because we didn't determine that yet either. Okay. A lot of customers at the bar, and I'm not putting that on you, but I'm just saying.
You are putting that on me.
No,
Actually,
I'm not putting
yes,
that on
you
you.
are.
I'm
You're
just
putting
saying.
all of this on me.
You know,
you are. I'm the bad guy here. He can sit here and emotionally abuse me for years, and I have to be the bad guy. Do you think that I wanted this, and now you're trying to make a fool out of me?
You know what, Miss Garth? I would feel sorry for you, except for the fact
that
I
know.
You
no
did
one feels
know
sorry for
this.
me. I get it.
You did know this. And what
I did not know
I won't
this.
take it personally
you think that
because
I would put my
hold
son
on, let's
through
get
that?
some order now. Let's get some order. Because what you not gonna do to me is what you say he did to you. And I'm following what the law says. You the legal father, you're gonna owe that child support anyway. Because you are the man she was married to. So with that said, your petition is denied. Judgment for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
Now we want to hear from you. Who do you think made the stronger case in this hearing and why? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this breakdown helped you understand what was really happening, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe for more in-depth courtroom and congressional breakdowns.